Good morning, everybody. This is going to be a different video, and kind of by request. I didn't think I was ever really going to do anything like this, but I've decided to go ahead and do it. I am also a firearms enthusiast, and I haven't really shared that with you guys, mostly because I don't shoot a whole lot anymore, but I still have a lot in my collection. But Alexander Richards Marshall, a week or two ago, did a video on his 50 subscribers special, and he showed off a really nice cherry German Luger. And we were going back and forth in the comments, and he showed some Mosin Nagant Russian rifles as well. And I too have some rifles I wanted to share with Alexander. Alex, I hope you're watching. And do you go by Alexander or just Alex? I'm not sure how you do that, but just kind of wanted to share. So I do have, and this is model 1944 Russian, Mosin Nagant carbine. It fires the 7.62x5.4 Ren cartridge. You can see it's in cherry shape. It does have a production date on it of 1944, and it has the Soviet crest on it. So this was an issued rifle, but the Russians did a lot of arsenal rebuilds. That's why this rifle's in such good condition. I'm sure they had a new stock put on it because the stock numbers don't match. But the Russians, the action itself on this rifle is completely sound. There's nothing wrong with it. It's actually a fine action. But the barrels were always crap. Now I'm probably going to get a lot of flack from some Mosin Nagant junkies out there. They just don't shoot that good. They never have. They just didn't have the technology. The Russians didn't, in the 30s and 40s. You can see the bayonet on it. In the 30s and 40s, they just didn't possess the technology to build a barrel properly, a true barrel. Which brings me to my next point. And that would be this guy. Now this is also a Mosin Nagant rifle, but it is not your ordinary Mosin Nagant rifle. This is a Finnish Model 39, and there's an interesting story behind these rifles. So Finland, as you know, fought the Winter War with the Soviet Union in the early stages of World War II. They were actually an ally of Nazi Germany. So they knew these Russian rifles, these actions, were just fine. But the barrels were shit, pardon my language. So what they did is they rebarreled them, and they put a new stock on them. One of the parts to a rifle, especially a bolt-action rifle, that improves accuracy, you may or may not be aware, is when you fire the weapon, you fire the rifle, the barrel whips ever so slightly. And it comes down in a slightly different place inside the stock. So what the Finns did, because by the way the Finns have a long-standing tradition of rifle marksmanship, just like the Swiss do, is they designed the stock so that the barrel, when it moved, would move almost none at all. This improves your downrange accuracy. Now, how much more accurate are they? You're going to hear a lot of different, claims about accuracy on Mosin Nagant rifles. But I'll be honest with you, just in the Nagants that I fired in my lifetime, these Finnish rifles are 100 to 150% more accurate than any of the Russian-made Nagants that I've ever fired. The quality of workmanship is just amazing. Now this is a 1944 rifle, and it has the Finnish Sky logo on it, which is a gear logo with an S inside of it. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not. I'm going to bring it up to the camera. See the little S? That stands for SACO, S-A-K-O. A lot of Americans incorrectly pronounce it SACO. SACO is still in existence today. They're a sporting arms manufacturer. Many people consider them to make some of the finest sporting rifles in the world. So what SACO did is they took the bolt, they put in a beautifully cut rifle barrel, bedded it to the stock properly, replaced the stock, by the way, so that the action and barrel don't move as much when the weapon's fired, and you get an incredibly accurate rifle. And by the way, they also put better sights on it. You can see it's got the Tang style front sight. The quality of work on this thing is just incredible. Now this is a 1944 specimen. I don't have any provenance to prove it, but I can almost guarantee you that this rifle served during the war. But Let me show you this. One of the other things they did, if you can see here, these are mortise joints. So they made such fine fitting joints to make the stock fit together. This was all designed so that the barrel wouldn't move as much and the action wouldn't move as much when the weapon was fired. So that's the beautiful finish, Model 39 Nagant. They salvaged the Russian actions, and this has got a Sako barrel on it. And this rifle I've shot quite a bit. And at 100 meters, it'll put 5 rounds into, 2 inches or less. So it shoots an extremely tight grouping. The recoil is very manageable. I will say though that on this little short Model 44 carbine, the recoil is punishing. It's also extremely loud. The shorter the barrel, the louder the muzzle blast, unfortunately, and the harder the recoil. Now, there's one more I want to share with you here. This rifle here is another Model 39. Whoa, just about slipped. As you can see, it's just like this one, but I don't know if you can tell or not. Let me bring it up to the camera, you can see it a little better. It's new and issued. And this is what in the US we would call a sneak. And why do they call it a sneak? I'm not exactly sure why they call it a sneak. This rifle was actually built in 1970. That's the date on it. Now it does not have the Sky logo on it. So this is not a Sako barrel. But my understanding is that the Finnish arms maker, now defunct, Valmet, actually barreled these. Guys, they were still making these and issuing these to Finnish Home Guard units in the early 70s because they were such fine rifles. This rifle's never been fired. It's a probably 1940s era Russian receiver with a new Valmet barrel and a brand new, as you can see, this is probably a beach stock. But it's a beautiful rifle. The bluing on it is just superb. Never fired this rifle. It's not extremely valuable. In the condition that it's in, it's probably worth, I don't know, $400 to $500 US, maybe a little more, maybe $550 US. But it's a neat rifle nonetheless. I hope you guys forgive my departure from normal modeling subjects, but I promised Alexander I would do that for him. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Everybody, take care and tune in soon. There's more videos coming.